Hello, everyone. This is a presentation for the Gender, Women, and Sexuality Studies Open House. My name is Cheyenne Bruner, and I am a junior double majoring in psychology and gender, women, and sexuality studies.
Hey, I'm Bob Brummett. I'm double majoring in gender, women, sexuality studies as well as secondary ed social studies.
So today we're here just to talk about the gender, women, and sexuality studies major and minor, as well as the queer studies minor. So we'll go ahead and go through those requirements real quick.
Yeah, so for the gender studies major requirements, there's 12 credit hours that are your core courses. So gender studies 105, 410, 510, and 610, which is introduction, feminist thought, research, and then your capstone. Currently, both me and Cheyenne are in 610, and we're really glad we're there. For your electives, you have 18 credit hours that just need to be filled out into those five departments.
For the GWIS minor, you only have one required course, so you either have to take GWIS 105 or GWIS 305. 105 is again the introduction to gender, women, and sexuality studies, whereas 305 is the advanced fundamentals. And then you have the 12 credit hours of electives from which you can choose from the list that was on the previous slide.
Yeah, so then we also have a queer studies minor. So it's 15 credit hours and only one required course as well, which is gender studies 325, which is queer studies, concepts, history, and politics, and then 12 elective courses.
So here are some of the people who have graduated with a degree in gender, women, and sexuality studies from K-State and what they are doing right now. So Megan Challender, she graduated in 2006 and she attended Georgetown Law in 2013. She used to work as a fellow at Georgetown Law Center's Domestic Violence Clinic, but right now she's a managing attorney at the Network for Victim Recovery in DC. And Marilyn Ortega graduated in 2013. She's a current PhD student at KU in American Studies, and her undergrad work was on expanding conversations about the school to prison pipeline.
Yeah, and then we have a couple grads working in student advocacy work. So we've got Zach Bistora and Mary Stoltz Newton. So Zach graduated in 2011. Zach's a state lobbyist for the Kansas Sierra Club, which is a grassroots environmental organization, and it promotes a better environment through ecological awareness and service. And then Mary graduated in 2006. Mary's an assistant director of the Wichita Area Sexual Assault Center and the recipient of the 2014 Visionary Voice Award from the National Sexual Violence Resource Center.
Some more student advocacy work. Summer Lewis graduated in 2005. She received her master's in international studies, peace and conflict resolution from the University of Queensland in Australia. And she is a current consultant for True Roots, which works on social responsibility projects. And then Clarissa Calvello, she works at the Western Kansas Child Advocacy Center in Garden City. She was a double major in psychology and gender, women, and sexuality studies, which allowed her to go beyond the textbooks and terminology of psychology and see how the psychology field really does impact different groups, people, genders, and more than what the field focuses on or represents. Her major also helped her feel better prepared for working with diverse populations and making sure to make all people comfortable talking about personal and difficult issues and events.
Yeah, so some of the essential competencies that gender studies promotes that employers are looking for is that 70% of them ask for the ability to work in teams. 65% ask for the ability to solve problems with real issues in society. And then 60% want people who can work in collaborative groups that are socially diverse. So all three of these essential competencies are really promoted in this department.
Some current benefits for students who are majoring or minoring in gender, women, sexuality studies is that you get to become involved with a lot of groups. So there's FIRE, there's GWIS ambassadors, there is Triota, which you can participate in your final year. There's Saga, the AAUW, and the Gender Collective. So there are
And
lots of different ways to get involved on campus.
and if you're an ambassador, you get a cool shirt. So just saying.
Use it. Yes, it's definitely worth it.
So the gender, women, sexuality studies, major, minor, and the queer studies are minor are really beneficial for everyone. these programs can be added to any major or minor. They really work out. As we've said, we're both double majors because they work well. So come to Leisure 3 or contact our office to learn more.
And here's our contact information. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Woo-hoo.